Hi everyone, welcome to Prairie Math League Elementary School Round 144. I am Andrew Wang and part of the PML committee. And today we're going to go through the solutions for questions, all of the questions 1 to 6 of round 144. So let's start off with question 1. In the following figure, given that all angles are right angles, AH equals HG equals FG, and AB equals BC equals CD equals DE equals EF. If the area of the figure is 200 centimeters squared, determine the length of AB. So first of all, we can set a few variables. So we'll set X equals the shorter side lengths. And what I mean by shorter side lengths is like A, B. Since A, B, B, C, C, D, and D, E, and E, F, such, they all are equal, these we can set them all as 1. So that we'll set them as X. Sorry, yeah. And we can set another variable, Y, for the larger side lengths, and we will label them all as things such as from FG, GH, and AH. These are all the larger side lengths, so AH. And this will sort of act as a guide for us. So since all angles are right angles, we can see that 3 of the X is equal to 1Y. As from the top here, we can see that A, B, C, D, and E, F, 3, the smaller side lengths, will cover 1 large side length, basically. And we'll undo that. And so we have the equation 3x equals y. The next thing we can determine is by using, 200 centimeters squared. So the area of the figure is 200 centimeters squared. And we can see how BECD is a small square, and AFHG, it's not a complete square, but it's in the shape of a square, almost as if it's being cut out by the smaller square. So what we can do for this is using the area of the square equation, which is squaring the side lengths, we can see how the square y squared minus the x squared, which is the smaller side length, is equal to 200. Equal to 200. Now, we have 2 equations and 2 unknowns, so therefore we can replace y into the equation so that it's 3x squared minus x squared equals 200. Now, do the parenthesis. This is 9x squared minus x squared equals 200. 8x squared equals 200. And so x squared will equal 200 divided by 8, which is 25. So therefore, x is plus minus 5, but in terms of geometry, or in this case, it is just 5. Since we know x equals 5, we can use this 3x equals y equation and times 5 by 3 to get y. So y equals 5 times 3, which is 15. And from earlier, we know that x is the larger side lengths. X is the smaller side length, such as AB, and y is the larger side length, such as AH. Now, the question asks for determine the length of AB, and right here, AB is a small side length, which is x, so it is equal to 5. X equals to 5. So the answer is B. And now let's move on to the next question. So let's see. All right. Next question is, so let's just mark it down. 1 is B. So draw. Okay, next question. Your parents decide to give you some more money every month. In January, you are given $2. In February, you are given $4. In March, you get $8, and the pattern is repeated. How much money do you have after a year if you spent $2,400 in such a year? So in this question, we can see there's a pattern where every month they get double the increased amount of money than they did before. So a way to do this is by listing all the month numbers out, and so 1, 2, 3, 4, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. So we can sort of see a pattern where it is multiplied by 2 each month. So January, 1 with $2. February is $4. March would be $8. April, $16. 5 for May is 32. 6 is 64. 7 is 128. 8 is 256. Then 512. 1024. And then last two, 2048. And 4096. Now, since it's in the span of a year, 12 months, so we'll add all these values together, and therefore we get 8,190. Now, that's the amount of money she gained this year before she lost. She spent some money. So the amount of money she spent is $2,400. So we minus her total amount by 2,400. And we get 5,790. So therefore, the answer for number 2 is B. 5,790. So we found the answer for B. Now let's move on to C, and let's quickly erase all of these. Yeah. All right. Now move on to question 3. Solve the following equation. X squared plus 2x minus 6 equals x. So let's begin. We have x squared plus 2x minus 6 equals x. So let's move x, this right x, to the left side. So it will be x squared plus x minus 6 equals 0. So now let's try and ignore the right side and just focus on the left side for a bit. So right now, left side is x squared plus x minus 6. And we can factor this into two binomials. And it would be x minus 2 times x plus 3 equals 0. And since this left side equals to the right side, that means x minus 2 times x plus 3 will equal to 0. So the only way to make the equation equals to 0 is if something is, if one of the brackets is 0, so that when it's multiplied by the other, the entire thing is 0. So if x minus 2, this bracket, we set it to 0, when we solve it, x will equal 0 plus 2, so x equals 2. That's one way this equation works. That's one solution to this equation. There is another, however. The second one is if we take the other one, which is x plus 3, that inside that bracket, and we set it to 0, this full equation that is over here also works. So x plus 3 equals 0, x would equal negative 3. So this has two solutions. One is x equals 2, and the other is x equals negative 3. So when we look at the available answers over here, we can see that it is C. C, yeah. So the answer is C for question 3. Okay. Now, next question. So we'll erase all of this. Just remember the answer to question 3 was C. And now we'll do question 4 now. Question 4. So, question 4. There are 30 students in a class with 60% of all students participating in hockey. Given that 8 students participate in both yoga and ice hockey, 5 students play both soccer and ice hockey, and 4 students participate in yoga and soccer, but not ice hockey. If there are 15 people who participate in exactly 2 sports, what is the number of people that only play ice hockey? Question number 4. So to do this, you can draw a Venn diagram with 3, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So one circle is the Venn diagram, but now you need 3 circles this time. So we'll put H as ice hockey, or and that is the uppermost left circle will be H, and Y is yoga, and we will put that as the uppermost right circle and label that as yoga. And the bottom we'll put as soccer, and S equals soccer. So from the question, we know that 60% of all students participating play ice hockey. So 0.6 times the total amount of students, which is 30, will give us 18 people who play hockey. So here at the top, 18. So let's look at the Venn diagram here for a second. So there's other pieces of information in this that can indicate to us. So given that 8 students participate in both yoga and ice hockey, so yeah, let's first label the different parts of this Venn diagram. So right here is where the dot is, first dot is the people who play only ice hockey, since all students have to at least play one. And over here is the people who only do yoga. And then down here would be the people who only do soccer. Okay. Now let's talk about this middle flower shape. So we'll label this middle as Y, and Y essentially is the amount of people out of the 30 students, of course, who choose to do all 3 sports. And this X is the amount of people who only choose to do hockey and